We are acknowledging a group of people that have gone unacknowledged for so long. And they never once got, and they will never get, from the Church of Scientology, we are sorry. We are sorry.
Yeah.
That happened.
It's like, what the f were we part of?
You came right out of the gate with the stories of two women whose parents were members of the church and who detailed stories of growing up within the church, and there was neglect and sexual abuse for which they were more or less blamed. Can you outline their experience and what it felt like to hear stories like that within Scientology, a faith you once both believed in very much?
Well, we were, of course, aware of these policies, but when you're in something that you believe in wholeheartedly, you don't believe, A, that these things are happening, and B, that the policy would be followed. But as you grow up in Scientology, you're very familiar with their technology of anything that happens to you is your responsibility. And that's a basic tenet in Scientology. And so, and because they believe that children are spiritual beings, old spiritual beings in little bodies, but they're old beings, they would still treat the victim as not a victim. They don't see victims. You're never a victim in Scientology. You're not allowed to be a victim. It's something that's very looked down upon. So it is coming out of it, you look back on it and listening to these stories, you're like, this, I don't know that I was part of it. I can't believe that I was part of it, but you don't hear these stories when you're in, right? They keep these types of abuses very, very confidential. And even members don't tell other members for fear of being retaliated against and being punished for talking to another member that something had happened to them.
But particularly, and with all we've seen in the Me Too movement, it just seems horrific that the men who admit these awful deeds are basically absolved. Is that true?
It's not that they're absolved. There's a policy in Scientology that you're not allowed to go to the police, as in other cults have similar policies. And they believe that with Scientology, they can fix the person. And they feel that turning them over to an authority, to the authorities, would do more damage. So they believe that they have the technology to fix them. But go ahead, baby.
And also the subject of the PR of Scientology is paramount.
Yes.
What matters most to Scientology is how they are perceived by the world, and if there is something that can be swept under the rug in order to not reflect badly on Scientology, it gets swept under the rug, like big time.